This is Sports Hub. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Modern Sinkala. Well, we have an exciting program ahead of us. Guess who I'm featuring today? If you love combat sports, then certainly this should be your show, because the one I'm featuring tonight is a mixed martial art fighter. He is fighting in EFC right now, if you've heard of EFC in South Africa. So that's the guest I'm hosting right now. At the moment, we have 3 Zambians that are competing over there. So I'm sure you're guessing who it is right now. I've featured one of them out of those 3. I've featured one of them. So I'm featuring the second one today. We have both the segments. Mike is back today with What's Trending. We also have the results segment. We have how much you know about your sportsmen and women, plus the men body. Remember, the Chipolopolo are playing tomorrow, Tuesday, against Russia in an international friendly match. So, let me welcome Mike Mwendachave, who is giving us What's Trending. Mike, how are you doing? Looking smart as usual.
Thank you very much. How are you?
Very well, very well, very well. How was your weekend?
It was all right. A number of sports activities happening around the country and, the globe at large. But overall, I think it was a very good weekend.
Where are you at Mulungoshi International Conference Center?
Yeah, of course, I was covering
the cancelled ZA elections.
Exactly. So I wanted to say I was covering the, ZA elections, but unfortunately we never covered. But we did cover the, the elective annual general meeting, of which it was done. But the elections.
Right.
Time, so.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Tell us what's trending.
Of course, as you heard more, my name is Mike Monetabe, and good evening. Hello to you too. Well, the National Sports Council of Zambia cancelled the Zambia Athletics elections, which are scheduled to take place on the 22nd of March at the Mulungoshi International Conference Center. Of course, a number of issues citing up to the cancellation of the elections, with delegates citing to say the exclusion of Ron and, Kafinsa United from participating in the general meeting, just making sure to say they wanted to make sure to say, Ron and Kafinsa participated. Also coming up, the further allegations that some clubs such as Ron and Kafinsa were excluded from attending the meeting. With the cancellation of the elections, the dissolution of the Zambia Executive Athletics, the National Sports Council of Zambia will take over affairs of the institution until further notice. We await guidance from the National Sports Council of Zambia on when the next Zambia Athletics elections will be conducted. Of course, on the issues of with the cancellation of elections, we did hear to mention to say some people such as Shepishi, who is based in Northern Province, in Musinga Province rather, who was voting on the Lusaka Province ticket, and the delegates were not happy, of which there were chaos there at Mulungoshi International Conference Center. Just making sure to say at last minute, after the dissolvement or the dissolution of the previous executive, the Mpondela executive, which served for 27 years rather, since 1998. Just make sure to say the next one. So we await the next dates. I'm sure you were not born yet, right? I wasn't. I was in 19.
When Elias Mpondela became president.
Exactly. I was in 1998 to 2025. He served, he really served, and he just did mention to say, because a lot of people, do mention to say he's the founder of Zambia Athletics, but today he refused claims to say, Zambia Athletics was actually founded in 1964, and he only joined them to be president in 1998, serving for the longest period of time. This is the same as the Kaunda era, 27 years as president of the Zambia Athletics, defeated his opponents 4 times, and for this one he's supporting his previous general secretary, who is Mungambata, just making sure to say he can lead on as he believes he's the right person to be behind the baton race to continue as Zambia Athletics president. Well, the first electoral, the first provincial AGMs keep on taking course day by day. We started with Southern Province, moved on to Lusaka, to Central Province, and leaders are being elected, being ushered into office to be presidents or maybe executive members to represent their provincial teams to the year of 2029. So from 2025, we'll be having the same leaders that are being elected now to 2029, and the same leaders that are being elected now are the ones that will make the final fate in Livingstone on the 29th of March to make sure to say they elect the new president, the vice president of the Football Association of Zambia. So a lot of issues, just to bring a breakdown of who has been elected in the number of provinces that have been conducted elections so far.
That's an interesting photo, Mike. Andrew Kamanga greeting each other with Somba Musunza.
Exactly. I was actually covering this event. This was on Saturday, rather, in Lusaka. And, sitting at the same high table, Somba Musunza failed to acknowledge, first president, which is Andrew Kamanga, as the president, starting to give attributions to the first, provincial chairperson, who is Jordan Maleti, to say in recognition to Jordan Maleti, and then moving on to the, lower table. So a lot of issues. The government doesn't recognize Andrew Kamanga as the first president, but FIFA does, recognize Andrew Kamanga as the Zambian Football Association president. So a lot of issues as far as, the association is concerned. So in Southern Province, over the elections that were conducted, this was the first province to hold its elective annual general meeting. And, in Southern Province, we had... to begin with, Muchinga Province, we had Samuel Mwapwe. In Northern Province, we have Chikundi Mbalazi. In Luapula, we have Mwamba Mikala, who was re-elected as first president. In Copper Belt Province, we have Patrick Ndolovu, re-elected as well. In Northwestern, we have Brian Sekeletu. In Central, we have Chisanga Pule, re-elected. In Lusaka, of course, Jordan Maleti retaining his position. He served for the previous 4 years, and again, he was ushered into office to serve for the next 4 years. So Jordan Maleti, serving again as the first provincial chairperson for Lusaka Province. Also coming up is Nicholas Mumba, serving on as the current chairperson for FAS after defeating his opponent, where he ushered 22 votes against 17. So we await. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be having, the same provincial elections in the Eastern Province, and then we'll be remaining with one province. And then on Saturday, we have the big fight in Livingstone. So we are waiting to see who is going to be the president of the association. So
Mike, actually, it's Tuesday, Western Province.
Tuesday, Western?
Then Thursday, Eastern Province.
Exactly.
And so Saturday, all roads will lead to Livingstone for the main election.
Exactly. So 86 votes. 5 candidates vying for them: Francis Hafwiti, Keith Mwemba, Adrian Kashala, Emmanuel Munaile, and incumbent Andrew Kamanga, just fighting for 86 votes. 20 from the 18 from the national, from the Premier League 18 again from the National Division League. We also have 10 from provincial chairpersons, of which it goes down to the youth representative, to the vice chairperson, as well as the women's representative. So a lot of and then these elections, more than just to mention, it's 50 plus 1. So you win by 50 plus 1. That's when you will be elected. Failure to that, we go to round 2 of the same election. So definitely, we just hope to say we don't see the same happenings that happened at the Mulunguchi International Conference Center, where we saw to it to say, the elections were cancelled. But GS was on the news today. He did mention to say we'll be having representatives from FIFA as well as CAF just coming up to make sure to say they provide the legal aid and the necessary support that is coming up, of which we do not say the National Sports Council of Zambia, of course, will be in place again to just make sure to say the elections are conducted well and good. Moving on, still on football matters though. The Football Association of Zambia Technical Director, that's Lyson Zulu, says Russia has an exciting team. This is attribution to the game that will be playing tomorrow against Russia. We played in Moscow, and the game kicks off 18 hours Zambian time. So a lot of issues. Some people coming up just to mention to say it wasn't the right fit for Zambia to play Russia as we prepare for the for the World Cup qualifiers, for the AFCON that we already qualified to. Just playing Russia. Russia hasn't played a number of games in a while, but it's still a good preparatory match, though. We should mention to say, even Lyson Zulu did mention to say they have a number of players. The squad that was selected, as you can see on your screens there: goalkeeping department, kudos, we have Tosa Sawata, Charles Kalumba, Victor Tawo. Defenders, of course, Stopila Nsuzu missing out. And I should mention to say, in the midfield position, we have Miguel Taiwa back in contention after being out for about 6 months out, but he's back in the Zambian squad. Lamek Banda out, Fashion Sakala as usual, that one. Patson Dak, of course, as well out. So exciting squad, a number of young players being included. Zanako having a great tour as far as club representation in the national squad is concerned. So the Chipolopolo boys will play Russia as a preparatory match because they have been inactive, and the opponents FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Eritrea and Congo Brazzaville withdrew. Brazzaville, we saw to it to say they were suspended. So we await to see the final verdict, of which, you know, if we'll be given 3 points and 3 points and you know, 3 goals. So we await. Moving on, Christy Coventry has been elected as the new International Olympic Committee IOC president. The Zimbabwean, a 2-time Olympic swimming champion and the first woman as well as the African to hold the title. You know, just at 41 years, she is the youngest to hold the title of, you know, the Zambian IOC president. So just to make sure to say, you know, Zambia as well as Zimbabwe is being, you know, represented at a world stage. So kudos to Zimbabwe as well as, you know, Christy for representing not just Zimbabwe but Africa at large. And lastly, we have, you know, the Zambian Premier League National League side Kansashi Dynamos has been the best digital platform at the 2024 Zambia Institute of Public Relations and Communications Awards held in Livingstone. The club's media office has been instrumental in Kansashi Dynamo's digital growth, with releasing high quality and video content just to make sure to say fans as well as other sports stakeholders are upheld with as far as information is concerned. Kansashi Dynamo secured the first place in the best digital media platform, best digital category, competing against World Vision, First Quantum Minerals, and Manasoko Military Hospital. And that item brings us to the end of What's Trending segment of Sports Hub. My name is Mike. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike, and kudos to our colleague there, Gwen Chipasula, for scooping that award. Continue working very hard. So that was Mike Mwendachabe updating us on what's trending. Right, let's move on to the segment we call How Much You Know About Your Sportsmen and Women. Last week I showed you a photo. Unfortunately, no one called through to give me the answer. So I'll give you the answer. So the photo we showed you last week was for Boniface Chitapochimo Simutowe. Boniface Chitapochimo Simutowe. That's the photo we showed you last week. But today, I'm asking you a simple question. I want you to tell me, all right, of course, Boniface Simutowe Chitapochimo, he's late now. He used to play for the Zambia national football team and later on became a coach. Obviously, he was known so much for coaching Profound Warriors now, which is called NAPSA Stars. All right, so that's the late Boniface Simutowe Chitapochimo. One of his children is a netballer and plays for the netball national team, Diana Chola Namutowe. All right, so today I want you to tell me the 3 fighters that are fighting under EFC. Who are the 3 Zambian fighters that are under EFC? That's of course in mixed martial art. So I'll be happy to hear from you. The number you can call is 0211 25 30 25, 0211 25 30 25. Right. Let's move on to the results segment. Let's talk about the World Cup qualifiers for Africa. I know, of course, that Zambia is not involved, and you may be wondering what's happening. Well, they were supposed to play Congo-Brazzaville, but Congo-Brazzaville, as you may be aware by now, they are banned, so they are not participating. They are banned by FIFA for alleged third-party interference, so they are not playing. Then Eritrea also is not playing because they couldn't enter the race, so they withdrew. So Zambia and Tanzania were not involved because they are supposed to play these 2 sides. So otherwise, Saturday we saw Togo drawing 2-2 with Mauritania, then Sudan and Senegal drawing 0-0. Today, earlier on, Namibia and Equatorial Guinea drew 1-0. So these are some of the results from the World Cup qualifiers. You know, more games are coming. But instead of just sitting idle, Zambia will be playing Russia in an international friendly that is tomorrow, Tuesday. So we'll be keeping you updated on how that would be. But it will be interesting. The last time they played was in the 80s when Zambia lost by 3-1 at the Olympics. And of course, the late Godfrey Yuka Chitalu scoring the only goal of that match. So we'll see how they'll play again tomorrow. We know that, of course, Russia has not been very active because they are also banned. So we'll see how it will pan out. Earlier on, Mike Mwendachabe was just giving us the squad that is already in Moscow in readiness for this game. So all the best to the Chipolopolo. Let's look at the MTN Super Division. We know that only 2 games were played over the weekend. So Mufulira Wanderers beat Atletico Lusaka by 3-0. Then Forest Rangers and Nkana settled for a 1-0 draw. And of course that dented Nkana's chances of winning the title, because they have to continue winning with the few games that are remaining. And then we'll have more action on Wednesday. Green Buffaloes will be taking on Napsa Stars at 15 hours. Indeni versus Green Eagles at 15 hours. Kabwe Warriors will take on Lumwana Radiants 15 hours. FC Muza versus Mutondo Stars at 15 hours. Then Red Arrows will face Nchanga Rangers at 15 hours. On Saturday, it will be Zanaco facing Nkwazi. Then Sunday, it will be a big one. It will be the battle of electricity. Power Dynamos facing Zesco United. Who will electrocute the other? We'll wait and see. So that's in the MTN Super Division. Let's now go to the National Division 1. It's also hotter in as much as Power Dynamos is leading in the MTN Super Division. Then Konkola Blades is leading in the National Division 1. So it was Young Green Buffaloes nil, River Plate nil, Trident 1, Prison Leopards nil, Aguila Stars 1, Dola United nil, Chambishi 4, Mpulungu Haba 1, Kafio Celtic 2, Leopards Hill 1, Chipata United nil, Mans United 1, Chirundi United nil, Konkola Blades nil, Kafio Eagles nil, Kitwe United 1, then Jumulo nil, Kansanshi Dynamos nil. So top 4, Konkola Blades, Kansanshi Dynamos, River Plate, and of course Mines United. So that's how it is happening in the National Division 1 League. So that's it in terms of results. So let's now go to the next segment, and this is the main body where we'll have our main guest for today. But before that, let's dance to a song done by 1J, and this one is titled Vuvuzela, dedicated to the Chipolopolo who will be taking on Russia tomorrow.
Zambia tupondi chachine umfa vuvuzela chachine soli wa chisungu chachine kulumba wa Zambia walulavu opponenti na lala chachine ipa na shipula chachine nasi mdimana chachine seni tubalonge chachine Zambia balange yeah bola Zambia balange yeah bola Zambia balange yeah bola Zambia balange yeah bola
Nyembo sa chikata Bishop Leten kama vikapa Charity Mkabin Leten kama vikapa iwe tewa bola fie Ndetira tewa bola fie Wala maturi
Mazambia tukono chachine umva vuvuzela chachine soli wa chisungu chachine kulumba Mazambia wanulavu wabone ntinalala chachine ipa na shipula chachine nasi mpimani chachine seni tubalonge chachine Zambia balange Zambia balange
Right, that's 1J with Vuvuzela. We are wishing the Chipolopolo all the very best, just like in the song, saying we wish you all the very best. So we are sending our best wishes to the Chipolopolo as they take on Russia on Tuesday. Time for me to introduce my guest in the studio. This one is a mixed martial art fighter, a Zambian mixed martial art fighter, and he recently won a featherweight belt in South Africa, and that is in EFC. I'm talking about Ken Sekeletu. He's been elusive, but I'm happy he's here now, finally, because he's been obviously in South Africa for some time, but he's here in the studio. Ken, good to have you. You're most welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right. How are you doing?
Good, good.
All right. All right. Please take your seat. We want to know more about you. We want to know who Ken Sekeletu is. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the belt there, the one that Ken just won in South Africa. But first things first, tell us more about yourself.
My name is Ken. I was born in 2001. I was born in 2001 January. In Challenge South. That's where I stayed most of my childhood. Okay. I stayed in Challenge South. That's where I did my school. There's a primary school called Muyoma Primary School in Challenge South. That's where I did my grade 1 to grade 9. And then I moved to in Chisamba. There's a boarding school called Emmanuel Adventist Boarding School. I did grade 10 there. That's why I did my high school there, and then
Okay, great. How many are you in the family?
We're about 6, but right now on 4 now, because 2 of my brothers died. Now it's only 4 of us. Me, and my older sister, and my younger brother, and my younger brother again.
You're number what?
I'm number, let me say number 4.
Right. 4, All right. So when you were at school, were you involved in any sports activities?
In school, I was involved in sports activities because you do inter-schools, But I used to play soccer. I used to love soccer.
Okay.
I used to love soccer.
So you started with football?
I started with football. At the age of 14, I switched to karate now. That's when I started doing karate in Chilenge there, Chilenge Community Hall. That's where I started doing my karate there.
Okay. So who inspired you to get into karate?
Let me just say movies. Watching movies, kung fu movies, Jet Li movies. So just in love with martial arts. That's when I said, hey, let me go and join martial arts. I went in barracks first, in Arakan Barrack. I trained there, but there it was far from coming to the barrack is far. I said, hey, I went to Chilenge Community Hall there. There was a karate club there. I started training there.
Which club is that, and who did you find? Who welcomed you?
It was Sensei Martin. There's a guy called Sensei Martin. They call him Sensei Martin. He welcomed me. Said, hey, you can come and train.
All right. Others, when joining karate, maybe they would have undergone through certain things, and then they would think of, no, let me go and join martial arts. When I come back, I'll come and beat up these guys.
For sure.
Was it the case with you?
No, it wasn't the case. Me, personally, I only love martial arts. Like I said, movies, just loving the art, the way it is, practicing martial arts. When I see it on TV, just the love and passion.
Okay. And how did you progress from there? I know you start with a white belt with martial art. How far did you go in
karate? I went because I only trained for 3 years, so I went up to, I was a green belt going to brown belt, and then that's when I switched because I started from challenge again. From there I stopped training there. I started training at Central Sports, if you know Central Sports, the judo club there.
Yes, in Long Acres.
Yeah, Long Acres there. That's when I went there, started training there again, Kyokushin with Sensei Watamule. Yeah, I started training with him again. That's where now I met, that's where I started MMA now. That's where I met the MMA guys from that same gym there. From karate now, I switched to MMA.
Who introduced you to MMA?
It's Humphrey. Yeah, he introduced me because we used to train together.
Oh, Humphrey Mlenga.
Yeah.
I once hosted him on this show.
He's the one who introduced me because we used to train together karate. By the time I went to boarding, because him was still day school, he was going by Arakan, me I was boarding. So he was, hey bro, start training MMA. He said, hey, when I come back from school, I'm coming to train as well.
Okay.
So after school, started training MMA.
All right. Did you find any difficulties in you know, joining mixed martial art, or maybe because you are doing karate, it was easy for you to switch to mixed martial art?
Yeah, it was easy because I was already. That's why mixed martial art is mixed, because in karate you only do stand up. So it was just a perfect fit to switch to mixed martial arts. It was no hard because by that time, no mixed martial arts in Zambia. There was nothing. So it was. The first guys, the first team when Amphi started, and the other guys, Coach Ben, if you know Mr. Ben.
Ben Bush.
Yeah, Ben Bush.
Yeah, he's our regular client here.
Yeah. So just starting there. Yeah, they will come because they wanted to build a team. Yeah, that's when they say you guys. They wanted people to join. Yeah. So it wasn't hard, like difficult. Because we used to go Central Sports every day, go training karate, just stay there the whole day. Yeah, so we used to see everything there. The MMA guys, the judo guys, you see, now this join mixed martial arts.
Right. Yeah. So you were applying all the karate principles in mixed martial art, or maybe there are some differences that maybe sometimes you would forget you apply a karate principle in mixed martial art.
Yeah, you can apply. Yeah, mixed martial arts is everything. It's everything. It's everything. If you're a boxer, a judoka, you can still apply it in mixed martial arts.
Okay.
That's why it's called mixed martial arts.
Oh, so it's a combination of karate, judo, boxing,
kickboxing, everything is under one thing. Mixed martial arts, MMA.
Right. Run us through the first ever fight that you fought.
Yeah, my first ever fight, my first ever MMA fight, it was here in Zambia. It was at Lewanika Mo there. There was a guy who came from South. That's a guy the guy was a white guy from South. He came. He was hired by the owner of Lewanika Mo in Woodlands there to open an MMA gym. So he opened an MMA gym. By that time it was 2018, 2019, just starting of COVID, I think. Yeah. So Coach Ben's gym, it was closed because we were training by Long Acres there. The whole was closed. That's when at Lewanika Mo they opened up a new gym called CFC Gym.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started training there. Coach Dino from South, he came. So he said, hey bro, come to the gym, gave me a job, started working there, and then they hosted fights there. My first fight, it was in 2021, yeah. I had my first amateur fight. I started as an amateur first. I fought my
a Zambian?
Yeah. No, I didn't fight a Zambian. I fought a white guy from South. I fought an international guy. He came from South, and yeah, I was the main event. I fought him. Yeah, I won my first amateur fight.
Wow. So you just started with a bang.
I won my first amateur fight, and then from there I went. That's when everything started. From there, the coach said, yeah, I'm going back to South. The contract now is done. I think it would be best for you to come with me in South. I think you can do good there. That's when I went to South.
So you went with Dino?
Yeah, I went with Dino.
Okay.
I went with Dino. He said, hey, you guys, you and Humphrey, you come with me to South. I think you can be very good that side, because by that time here in Zambia, mixed martial arts, MMA was no coaches, no gyms. So it was like, I think it's best for you to come in South and train that side, because in South, MMA is big, it's there. Even they've got a world champion there, Drakus Du Plessis, is a UFC world champion, not EFC, but UFC world champion. Yeah, so in South, mixed martial arts is big. So Gino said, hey, you should come in South, train there, you can be good. I went in South, continued fighting amateur. I continued to fight amateur level. I went to the African Games, represented Zambia there, represented my country there. I got silver, in 2022.
Were you content with you getting a silver medal since you were already doing well? You were in South Africa, then you went to the African Championship, you got a silver. How content were you with a silver medal?
Let me say, I wasn't proud of myself, but again, it was a motivation for me. I was like, because after I won the silver, people were like, hey bro, it's good, now you can turn professional. So for me, that's when I had to talk to myself like, hey, do I want to do this, like go professional, like make it a living or what? So yeah, that's when I decided. So a silver medal, yeah, it was good for me.
All right. Was it a quick decision for you to go professional, or maybe you had to think about it, do a lot of consultation?
Yeah, I had to think about it. I thought about it. Yeah, but I had about 10 amateur fights. I only lost once against the silver medal. That's when I lost.
Oh, wow.
So I had 10 amateur fights. I only lost to the African Championship. And then I went to do pro license. I got my pro license, and then the EFC signed me, gave me a pro contract. And then I was in the EFC.
Right.
Yeah.
So in EFC now you have 7 fights.
Now I've got 7
and
fights.
You've won all of them.
Yes.
Let's start with the first fight.
Yeah, the first fight, my debut, it was I fought a white guy from a South African guy, Afrikaner guy. I won in the first round, stopped him.
Is this which fight was this?
This one was my recent fight for the belt.
The one where you grabbed this belt?
Yeah, the one I won the belt. It was
right.
This guy.
Okay, let's start with that one. How can you describe that fight, and how is competition against your opponent?
Against my recent fight?
Yes.
My recent fight was it was a big fight. It was a big fight. It's a big fight because this is in Africa. This is the belt in the EFC. So the guy, he was an experienced guy. He fought in the US. Yeah, so it was a big fight for me. But yeah, I went out there and with my team and won the fight.
All right. Before facing him, how much did you prepare for him, and what type of preparation did you put in before that fight?
Just training every day, having a nice game plan. Doing the wrestling, if you guys, I don't know now. Do the wrestling, do your striking, do your conditioning, just training. All angles, because this is mixed martial arts. You train your stand-up, you train your groundwork, your conditioning, your cardio, getting ready for the championship fight. If
I look at him, I think he's a bit bigger than you, right?
Yeah, him, in age, you mean age?
No, in terms of size, body size.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's
bigger and maybe even taller than you.
Yeah, he's a bit
taller than you.
Yeah.
Wasn't he intimidating? Like before you faced him, maybe you'd be thinking, this guy is to US and all that.
No, I wasn't intimidated. But because of the number, I wasn't intimidated because I was in a winning streak. I was 6-0 by then. I was 6-0 in the EFC, and I fought tough guys. Tough guys who were undefeated. So me going to this guy, I knew, and it was a championship fight. I was like, hey, this is mine. I need to seize it.
Right.
So I wasn't intimidated by him or something.
Zambian flag being lifted high there. Share with us the feeling. How did it feel winning this interim belt, featherweight belt?
Yeah, it was a good feeling. Good feeling winning. Yeah, good feeling. Felt good. Felt grateful.
What does it mean to your career?
Yeah, it means a lot because after now I just need to unify the belt. After winning the belt, yeah, good things will come. Maybe sign with the UFC or go on Dana Contender Series. Yeah.
All right. So that's the first belt in your career.
No, even as an amateur champion, I was an amateur champion as well.
Okay.
I had a belt as an amateur as well.
All right. Well, in South Africa.
Yeah.
All right. How has life been there?
My life just training, go to the gym, come back, sleep, train again. Tomorrow morning go to the gym again, just like that, every day.
Yeah. Right. But how are people treating you in South Africa, knowing that you've been winning one fight after the other? How are they looking at you?
Yeah, like in South, they know. Like I can say, in South, I'm ranked #1. Since the amateur, the South African community now, they know me because I've been there since an amateur. So even the MMA community, they know me because I went there since an amateur. I turned pro there, so they understand me. I've been a prospect since an amateur. I was a #1 prospect in South. Number one in South, #2 the whole Africa. As a pro, now I'm #2, #1 prospect again in South. So yeah, big shout out to South Africa.
Wow, right. So this is Ken Sekeletu, ladies and gentlemen. He is a Zambian, but can we say you are living in South Africa now?
No, I'm living in Zambia now.
You're back in Zambia.
I just go there for my camps.
Okay.
When I've got a fight, I go there, do my camps, I fight, come back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What are you looking forward to now after winning the interim belt? What next?
Next, we need to unify the belt now. That's what's next. I've got a fight coming up. Maybe I don't know, not yet the dates, but I think unify the belt because this is an interim championship. So I've got 2 champions in one division. We have to unify the belt. Yeah. So maybe June, July, unify the belt. From there. Yeah.
And how are you looking at yourself? Would that journey be easy to unify?
Yeah. That's what I want. I want to push, be undisputed, go to UFC, sign a deal with UFC, go on Dana White Contender Series, fight in the US, fight in Europe. Yeah, that's what I want. That's why the belt is the key. Yeah.
Right. No, EFC, that's Extreme Fighting Championship. How much support have you received from your family? I know it's a risky it's a risky sport.
yeah. When you're starting up, they always family, they always support because when you're starting, they are first worried, but when they see the results now, they understand. No, this, but they always say, fighting is tough, but that's how we train to move.
Yeah. Right. And I know fighting in UFC is every fighter's dream. Yeah. How long do you think it may take you to go and fight in UFC?
Like me, I can just say even a year. Just have to take the right steps because the team I'm training with in South, there are 2 UFC fighters. They fight in the UFC. One is a world champion in the UFC. So yeah, my team, they are well connected to the UFC. That's their plan. That's what they want. Get me a contract with Dana White Contender Series. You have to go first on Contender Series. There you win a contract. They sign it to the UFC. So they want first to get me on the Contender Series. After the Contenders, I go to the UFC. Yeah, but now we're just focusing on unifying the belt. Maybe June, fight one more fight with the EFC. Defend the title. From there now, the next step will be going to the UFC because now I've got 7 fights, going to 8 fights. My fights.
Yeah, 7 fights, no loss. What has been giving you the strength?
Just the dream, just dreaming, the vision, what goals, what you want to achieve. Yeah, even guys the guys around me. Because you see, like I say, I train with a world champion. So I see, I'm a EFC interim champ. But yeah, you can see the guy is a UFC champ. He's even bigger. So you say, also I want to be a UFC champ.
Yeah.
So that always motivates you. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I know you are the 3 of you, 3 Zambians in EFC. How can you describe the level of mixed martial art, Zambian mixed martial art?
Right now in Zambia, mixed martial arts, it's growing. Not too many clubs, not too many coaches. Because for a sport to grow, you need coaches. Coaches who understand the sport. Right now in Zambia, the sport is growing. It's growing there, but yeah, it's growing there. We've got only 3 professional fighters. Me, Humphrey, and Rob Simbowe. Yeah, Rob Simbowe. And Rob Simbowe stays in South. Me and Humphrey go to train in South for our fight camps. yeah, here in Zambia, MMA, I can say it's growing. Because people don't understand the sport, but they will understand the sport.
Right. Is there anything that you feel should be done? Since you are a fighter, obviously you know what you guys go through.
Yeah.
Are there things you feel should be put in place for this sport to grow even bigger and bigger?
Yeah, I think what I can say, the ministry, the Ministry of Sports needs to support the MMA community as well. Yeah, the government needs to support MMA community as well, because I know, yeah, it's a new sport in the country, but it's a big, I think it's the most growing sport in the world right now. No, MMA is the biggest right now. Not even soccer. MMA is the biggest right now.
Right. How do you relate with Humphrey and Simbol?
Yeah, Humphrey is the one I've been together since childhood. We're both from Chilenji South. We started this together. Yeah, we're all good. Loop Simbo again, yeah, we're all good as well.
Okay, right. Yeah, I can see some similarity between you and Humphrey.
No.
Hairstyle, do you inspire each other?
No, just hairstyle, you know, just keeping your head, some punches covered up.
Okay, all right. And also back home here, I know Benjamin Bush, the president for Mixed Martial Arts Zambia, has been doing a lot of work to make sure that the sport is where it is now. At what point did you encounter him? When did you meet him, and how was the interaction?
First met Ben Central Sports. That was in 2018. Yeah, I met Ben because he was. And he was from day one, he saw the vision. So up to now, he's still pushing. Yeah, big shout out to Coach Ben. Yeah, because he has been pushing since day one as well. Also, he's the one who inspired me. He's the one who made it possible for me to start this journey. Because he's the first guy found in Central Sport who was doing MMA. He said, "Hey, bro, you can do amateur, you can be a professional." Okay, he's the one who started everything. Yeah, so yeah, big shout out to Coach Ben. Yeah, he has been doing so much for the sport.
Right.
Yeah.
Which fighter, either in EFC, or maybe in Zambia, or maybe in Europe, that gives you goose pimples? If I meet this fighter, maybe the fight would be so tough. Which fighter?
Let me say there's a guy in UFC. He's a featherweight as well. He's a featherweight champ as well. It's called Idiot Apodia. He's a Spanish Georgian guy. Yeah, yeah, that guy he's good. He's good. Yeah, he's a featherweight champ. I look up to him as well. Yeah.
All right. So in mixed martial art, is it about the body that one may have?
Yeah.
Or the strength, or maybe it's just the technique?
Nah, it's technique. You need to have the technique. Everything you need to have technique. You can be strong, but if your technique is not good, you need to have technique. Everything you need to have technique. The body size doesn't matter. Okay. You need to have technique. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And that's what you've been using as well?
Yeah, use technique. Yeah, use your technique.
All right. Amongst the 7 fights that you fought, which one would you say was the toughest?
The toughest one? Let me say the Congolese guy. Because I fought the Congolese guy, he was 9-0. Me, I was 4-0. Yeah. So,
what does that mean in layman's language?
Let me say he had 9 fights.
Oh, okay.
He had 9 fights, 9-0, no loss. He had 4 fights, no loss. So he had more. Yeah, it was a tough fight. That's the one fight I went to decision.
Okay.
I won by unanimous decision. It wasn't a tough fight, but I think he was there, he was strong. I failed to finish him, but I got the job done.
Right.
Yeah.
So out of 7, 6 have been via knockout.
Yeah, it's stoppage.
He's a big fighter, ladies and gentlemen. He's a big fighter. Ken Sekeletu, we have to be proud of him. So, but that one had to go to the judges to make a decision whether you had won or he had won.
Yeah.
Right, and I know Congolese fighters are very tough.
Yeah, Congolese tough.
In wrestling, there was a fighter called Mloji. He fought one of our Zambian fighters, William Tiger Boy, and he's late now. Well, I don't know if you've heard of that story, where he would just he turns, then Tiger Boy would fall on his own.
A Congolese guy.
Yeah, Congolese guy.
Congolese are very strong. Congolese are very strong.
Yeah, right. So now you're only the three of you in South Africa. Would you wish maybe more Zambians can join? Can they manage the competition which is in EFC?
I can't speak for for the guys, but I think because they are fighting, you yourself you have to know. If you think you are ready, you turn pro, you start fighting the EFC. If it's up to you. Because I can say the guys are not ready, maybe the guys are ready. You see, but it's up to them themselves. If they want to turn pro, if you want to stick to them. But I think it's best if you go to the African Games, especially for the guys. Competition guys is tough. So maybe it's best you go to the African Games in amateur level first, especially as a Zambian. You go to the amateur tournaments, African Games, maybe go to the World Championship with their fans, you go African Games, you win first medals first.
Okay.
You get your medals, you get your confidence up. Because that's even me, that's why I said that silver which I got in the African Games gave me confidence. I won my title in amateur. I had 2 titles in amateur. All that built my confidence. So stepping on the professional stage, I was ready to say. That's why all my fights, you see, because the foundation it was. So also the Zambian guys, make sure you get your amateur fights, go to the African Games, win your African Games, go to the World Championships, come back, now decide if you want to turn pro.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the women's category? I know we have Miracle Chipito and Mtinta Mwene fighting in that category. What do you think the future holds for the women's category? For the girls, it's good. For the girls, because also in mixed martial arts, the girls are not a lot. So especially for our Zambian ladies, they're doing good. Even when they go to competitions, they come back with medals. It's a good sign. If they continue to do that, maybe in the next 1 year, they can turn pro on the EFC. Because also the EFC now, they've got a program called EFC Contenders. Okay. It's for amateurs, so you can apply there. They watch you if you fight in the EFC cage, EFC lights, EFC media, everything. They give you a contract if you perform good. They'll sign you as a pro. How competitive is it for the women in EFC? In EFC right now, most of the women, they leave too quick to the EFC because even in Europe, not too many ladies are fighting. So in EFC, most of the ladies, they go. They just come there, 2 fights, 3 fights. She goes maybe UK, she fights that side. Yeah, so, yeah. Can one make a living through mixed martial art? Mixed martial art, for sure. It's a sport, just like any other sport. Like I said, it's the biggest sport right now in the world. Open your phone right now. Mixed martial arts on your phone. There are people watching you all over the country. How can you inspire them, those who would want to join mixed martial art, even those that are not in Lusaka, that are in other districts? What can you advise them regarding mixed martial art? You can use this camera here. Yeah, mixed martial arts, I can just give my example by myself. Mixed martial arts is a good thing to take up. Any career, I can say. Don't just stay on the streets. For the guys, don't just stay on the streets. Make sure you find something to do. If it's sports, whatever you do, football, mixed martial arts, make sure you go out there and just try yourself doing something resourceful. Don't just stay in the streets. Even if you're in Pika, Copperbelt, Solwezi, Lusaka, Matero, wherever you are, just find something to do. If it's mixed martial arts, I've got gyms. I've got one gym here in Kalingalinga, in Copperbelt. There's a gym for mixed martial arts. In Kabwe, I think there's a gym as well. Yeah, so yeah, don't just sit in the streets. Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise for you. We have one person in the studio who you saw a long time ago. I'll invite him to come on set. Humphrey Mlenga, you can come through so we can see you. I think I hosted you, was it last year? Yes, last year. Yeah. So, good to have you once again. All right. You can sit there. Remember what I was saying, that, you know, when you grow in Chilenje, maybe you start having some similarities. The hairstyles. This is another great man who is doing big things at EFC in South Africa. And he also looks simple here, but when he's in that cage, he is a beast. All right. So I challenged you last time, right, to ball juggling. So now it's your time. Your boy is there. You can go and pick up the ball there. Since you said you played football before, yes. I want to see how you can handle ball juggling.
Ball juggling.
Yes, that's Kenny Sekeletu, mixed martial artist. He's fought 7 fights. He's yet to lose any. And time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, thank you very much. Humphrey, can you challenge? Let's see if you can challenge, if you can beat Ken's record. And time starts now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe you can do better in arm wrestling. I want to see who is the strongest between the two of you. Come here, you can come here. Yeah, I want to see who is the strongest. I know they are teammates. Yeah, so you rest your elbows here. Yeah, you can come here. Yes, I want to see who is the strongest between Humphrey and Ken. Yes, and time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are both strong. It's a draw. It's a draw. Well done, well done. So, well, I was hosting the two gentlemen. Watch out for them. Watch out for them. Humphrey Mulenga and Ken Sekeletu, they fight under EFC. I'm sure you've been watching. Watch out for them. They will bring big things to the Zambian mixed martial art family. So until next week when I bring another guest, my name is Modern Tapechela Sinkala Mwana Ukwiranzi. Goodbye.